don't like that much, but I like it. In Prescient, we call ourselves an engineering software company. So our customers are, Siemens is our very big customer. So they themselves are software companies, they build their software products. So we have customers like that, and we also have industrial customers. And right now our strength is more than 400 people. And we keep, as we all know, that AI is a word I think everybody's talking in every conversation right now, today in this hall and everywhere. I'm going to talk about the various kind of use cases that keep coming to us now. Customers are coming to us and they're talking about, can you do this using AI? Can you do this using AI? So I'm going to talk about that. And what we are seeing is that people are coming with various use cases, very real ones, for the entire product life cycle. So what people are really thinking, what approach could be actually to solve such problems is what actually I would like to emphasize on. Yeah. So as we all know, the product life cycle starts from the concept to design to manufacturing and production and some other areas as well. So right now, what we see is that I'm going to talk about what kind of problems they are coming in the concept area, in the design area, also in manufacturing, production, and others. So in concept, these are the two use cases on which we are kind of working right now. So in Prescient, we have our own technology which starts from point cloud data to mesh and mesh to services. This is basically a highly mathematical, intensive problem, a non-linear problem. Also classes surface is also very similar, highly non-linear problem. And so a lot of papers have been written, people have written, so many approaches are there, but still, and solutions are already there. It's not that solutions are not there, but the problem is not completely solved. A lot of manual intervention comes into when you design classes surfaces, or you are doing surface fitting from point cloud to mesh and mesh to surfaces. We are trying that can we basically apply AI there. So what I see is that, for example, this problem is highly non-linear, and it means that you have to basically find out, solve problems, bring that non-linear problem into some linear problems, and keep on finding minimas and try to get a solution which is kind of okay to the current problem. Here we are basically solving G0 continuities, G1 continuities, curvature variations, and so there are so many constraints that come in, and then you are trying to solve the mathematical problem. Now what is happening with AI? I feel that the mathematics is kind of getting democratized. So you don't have to really understand the entire mathematics, you don't have to really understand the complex algorithms, but you can design your own models, you can train them appropriately and generate the results. And that possibility exists now. And we are getting some very good encouraging results to start with. So, and the guys who are training them are young people, they don't understand the entire mathematics. They know how the CNN, how the neural networks work, what kind of inputs I should give, what kind of outputs I should expect, create data and train and see whether that can replicate. And it does replicate like that. We all know that. For example, people who, they are not language experts, but they are writing LLMs. So the same thing is happening actually. So I think what I feel is that there will be a paradigm shift, the way concepts will be converted into models in a very short time. So all the limitations they were being imposed because of the mathematical understanding or mathematical limitations because of the algorithms, the way mathematics is, will actually can get overcome because of AI in this particular space. So when it comes to design, I think again there could be a big paradigm shifts. For example, we saw a use case where people have now telling the software that can you create a bracket for me of this angle and that angle, and then it converts that into APIs and then call appropriate software, for example NX, and get the model generated. So then one of our clients, they are asking us that can you basically generate the drawings, So we are basically, every company, whenever they create new products, it is basically, they have a product line, and the next products are kind of similar. So because they have done similar drawings on their products earlier. So now with just few clicks, can you generate the drawing the way I generate yesterday or day before yesterday? So learn from my own the way I from the part how I go to drawings. Now learn from that and then create for my new part, create a similar drawing. And if you can do 80-90% of the job, and then the draftsman can come in, cross check it whether it's all fine. And it is not just drawing views and placement, but the PMIs. Find out the way you have put the PMIs in the earlier drawings, get them into the new drawings, and reduce the entire cycle time for the drawings. And this is basic. And this is definitely, again, we already have a POC here. So this paradigm, there will be a paradigm shift here as well. We have a customer in CIE area, and they say that so whenever they do the meshing, they suppress few features, not all the features, but they suppress few features so that the meshing engine doesn't have to basically create a very complicated mesh because it is not needed every time. But that is basically a human knowledge. The people who have meshed, or the meshers who have meshed for years, they know exactly which are the fillets. Though this fillet is okay, it should be there, but this should be suppressed. We don't need this kind of things. So again, they are asking us that can you go back and see what we suppressed earlier, and can you suppress now by yourself, using AI? So here again, the human intelligence which has got in there is kind of will get captured in AI and then help them. That again, it is again I would say a kind of a assist kind of a software. The mesher finally will have a say. He will say that what is good and not. But a lot of his work could be taken care by AI, and he can just verify that a lot and then maybe make some few corrections in future. So I feel that in the CAD and CAE area, in the design section, there will be a lot of places where AI will come in and change the way we work. One of our customers, they are a CAM manufacturing company, and so whenever you do you make some strategy to machine your part, and so you need to have recognize the features. So of course you do feature-based design, but the manufacturing needs a different kinds of features. They have to identify different kinds of features. So using their way they identify the features. Using AI, we are able to identify them now. So, and they are putting that the piece of code into their software, so that their users will just click and find and get those features from the parts, and then decide their machining strategy. Similarly, like okay, first of all, one is that about finding out the features, and second is about deciding the strategy. So, what should I do first, and what should I do second? So, what is my basically plan to go about machining a particular product? Is something AI generated now? So one of our customers is already having this. We're working with them very closely. So design for like manufacturing, assembly, cost, reliability, sustainability is something definitely AI would come in. So today morning we had a very good chat with one of the prospects, and they were asking us that can you look at our earlier designs, and whenever a new young designer is designing the parts, then the older knowledge, can that come in and tell and assist that person? Okay, here for example, this particular bracket has so many holes, but why different dimensions? They should be of the similar dimension, or the hole is getting very closer to the edge. Can you give that kind of a feedback using AI? So it is all about learning the past knowledge is kind of, or you are extracting your old knowledge. Generally that is done by the senior people now. They guide the new people, new generations, and tell them how the design should be. But now that can be done, or that can AI do that? That's the kind of question they're asking. So this can, and the design for X, or for manufacturing or for assembly, for everywhere, AI will started getting in, and it will get in. So this is basically Prescient's our IP. We do MES for a steel industry right now, and they generate a lot of data, and their processes are very critical, and any lag or any problem in between creates a huge loss in their production, energy utilization, and it is highly the expert base, then the people who have worked in those factories for a long, they basically predict this must have happened, we should do this, we should do that. But at the same time, these are companies, they're continuously generating the data. They are process-based industries. Can that data basically keep telling them that, can that data predict them, analyze them? So analytics and all we are already doing, but now the next questions are coming that, can you predict it actually using our data, that where things are going? Can you tell us that if something can go and fail in future? So the AI is kind of will get in and start solving such problems. This is basically a case. We get tons of requirements now that everywhere, like there are so many inspection methods by which you do it, but companies have not really taken out the manual inspection. So there are places where people go and check it actually. So for example, we have a customer and they assemble the chassis for Volvo, and their problem is that somebody might have put the wrong bracket. The bracket looks very similar, left side, right side, wrong bracket somebody's put. Somebody's assembled it, he has to put bolt from this side and nut from this side, but he has done it in opposite way. So wrong assemblies, missing bolts, missing screws, then wrong parts. So these are the problems people are coming to. Then there could be, or also identify whether there are scratches or whether there are corrosions or something of that kind. So these kinds of problems are basically people are solving today by looking at it, and the person who is looking at it actually kind of gets fatigued after some time. He might miss out something. Whatever you are developing goes to the next level. Your client is not happy that something is coming from you is not perfect. So all these problems actually something a person is looking at and deciding it. Can the AI look at and decide it whether it's right or wrong? So these kinds of problems are again customized. Every problem becomes different. It is we have to basically adapt the AI models to suit the needs of those use cases. But this is one of the very big use case actually on the production line. It could be directly on the conveyors, or it could be even the static inspections. Then another area where AI, people are asking us that can you basically produce the documentation? And this is something nobody likes to do, but it's a part of job. So and you already have lots of digital assets. You have your own Excel sheets, your own some documents, source code, models. Can we basically extract that information, create the rack systems around that, and generate the documentation the way you want? So these are the use cases. They are coming up here a lot. This is another area where code generation is one area. Siemens is a software company, we are a software company, and we see that there is a huge push now actually. All the new generation people, they are not writing the code by hand now. Everybody is basically creating the code, cut pasting it, again tailoring it out. I think this use case is going to grow as we go further. And another thing which is coming up is that many customers are asking this, that we have old code, and can you convert our old code into a new way of working? I think it's old C++ and we're using the old pointers, but now can the pointers be smart? Can you basically make sure that they are having loops in an old way, but can you now use iterators and modify that source code? They want their source code to be upgraded. But if somebody goes and touches the source code again there's a huge loop. Can AI do that? So we are already, of course there are so many co-pilots now, but can you, around those co-pilots, we are building a system so that code modernization can happen. There are cases like people are, of course we didn't get into those use cases right now, but people are talking that can the old COBOL code be changed, into a totally new code, and people are still running systems on COBOL. I am a very old programmer, but I have never worked on COBOL, so you don't get now expertise of that kind. So can you basically shift to the new code? So this is another very big use case that is coming. So the whole point of my talk was like we are talking about AI, we are talking about at a conceptual level what is happening, but what are the use cases that are really coming up? So I just wanted to highlight our experience, what use cases we are looking at right now in our company or our customers, how they are looking at is what I just wanted to point it out. And I feel that there are so many situations or so many areas where we will all come across and we can think of that AI can come in. Now, I think, having said that actually, so how the solution should be built is, I'm being a developer, I would like to comment few things here. So one is like, they call that AI hammerers, like, so whatever is the problem, I am an AI hammer and I'll just hit that nail, and then I'll realize it may not be the nail. I might hit it everywhere, It could be a screw, but I'll just hit it as an AI hammerer. Now the new hammerers are coming up, they're LLM hammerers. So whatever happens, that use LLM and solve the problem. So I feel that, at least for, and I could be wrong, but today I feel that we should think about the problem first and then use the conventional methods, the AI methods, the LLM methods, and combine them to solve the problem. So otherwise, we might just get, today the LLMs have gone to the totally next level, and everybody's thinking that they are kind of the next level gods, and they will solve all the problems. May not be. You may have to have your own, train your own models. Besides that, you may have to have some conventional programs also, programming also, and so combining all that, I think we should basically solve the problems rather than just jumping and take a hammer and start beating it. This is what my today's understanding. I might be wrong. After a few months, it could be that there could be just a LLM hammer. I don't know. But at least today, when I see the problems and when I look at the solutions, this way is kind of helping me. So whenever we are solving this problem. Yeah, so this is what I wanted to share with you, what we are looking at. Thank you so much for attending and listening to me. So if you have any questions, we can discuss. Thank you.